That's right. It is I, the mighty psycho. I was powered by coffee each and every time. That's almost as much of a guarantee as the world going to end. Wednesday night, what, ladies and gentlemen? Brought to you by yours truly, coffee, the many fine people that come on here and video chat or comment. It has been a very strange yet interesting day. Got to see beautiful people. Got to see my son and grandson. Got to see Sweetums. Got to see how should I say this? A possible potential insurance scammer. We'll see. I'm not going to deal with that nonsense. Not going to deal with that. I am here for roughly the next 90 minutes to go off and do all those fine things. Right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate the 6 people already on board. That is great. I don't know who else is out there tonight. I just thought I would plug at least a small show. Hey, how are you? Look, it's Hudson. You know what? I got more tests and stuff done. We'll talk about that another day. Walrus, how are you? And that's right. Right next to the Whoville. I suggest everybody go get the new book, Horton Hears the Who, because you know what? For the price, I call it a bargain. The best I ever had. The best I ever had. See, you didn't know I was going to go there. Thanks, Mike. So help me. Hey, Craig, how are you? Yes. And look who we got. Sir James Bowie, Sinatra, Lenny White, Lennon. You need more names attached to that, sir. You just do. We got to add a few more. Look at this McCartney in 5 days, man. Remember, listen to what the man said. He said, it's Dr. Seuss when he visited the windmills of Townsend. Oh, my. That's what happened to the Lorax and the trees. It was the windmills. Hey, good Lord, woman. I haven't heard hide nor hair from you in a long time. She's a friend of mine from here locally. I knew her brother. I still know the brother. I see the brother from time to time. See, look at that, right? Yes, McCartney played. Yeah, I wouldn't have paid $1,000 if I had it for him. I know, right? So let's see here. Okay, let me go off, and before I plop an invite, okay, that's fine. You are too kind. You are way too kind, Lisa. Oh, good. All right, so let's see. How about I show you some 45 finds? The 45 finds were found yesterday. How about that? And they came out to about $1 a piece, I guess, out of all honesty. So on Paula Records here, Cookie and the Cupcakes, I'm Twisted. Yes, on Paula Records. A yellow label RCA Guess Who of good old hand-me-down world. Don't you bring my hand-me-down world. I got one already. Play it. Yes. Paul Evans Worshipping an Idol on Guaranteed. As a lot of people know, Psycho just picks up things if the labels look strange and cool and weird and stuff like that. Ricky Nelson EP, basically Bebop Baby, if I remember correctly, from 56, 57. Yeah, no kidding, right? Hey, yes. Couldn't pass this up for $1. Just slightly dog-eared on the top, but I don't care. I've Lost You, recorded June 1970 on picture sleeve. And of course, the back is what's really fun. Other than the stamp now 75 cents, it shows 50 golden hits as originally recorded on LP, stereo 8-track that is, and cassette tapes with a special souvenir photo album. I have that lying around somewhere in my collection. Can't stay because the Fab Forum is on, and they are going to have Terry Draper for Klaatu. Oh, that's going to be nice. Tell Terry I say hello, because I'm always calling occupants of Interplanetary Craft and taking that Sub Rosa Speedway to get to that. Hello, Lisa. How are you? This weekend is when people will be wearing orange shirts in support of the memory of those slain by the mass shooters and also against gun violence. That reminds me of like that Harry Nilsson song that Ringo Starr and Stevie Nicks did a duet in the early 90s on a Harry Nilsson tribute album, and it's called Lay Down Your Arms. But anyways, here, by request on 45, Elvis sings Memories from Elvis and Charo. Big Wheelie and the Hubcaps, Over the Mountain, along with a Little Richard medley. Here I thought was very cool. On a beautiful, this is minty, on a white whale company sleeve. That's right. The story of rock and roll from the Turtles. And that reminds me, the Four Seasons, the singles game on Crew Records. And lastly, when I see Del Shannon on Big Top, I normally see the usuals, but I've never heard of Kelly. All nicely minty done, ladies and gentlemen, minty done. Let's see, book finds pretty much. This came from Donna Jo Cat Lady. Yes, Donna Jo Cat Lady. Yep, Klaatu Baranda Nikdol. I will. If I can find one of those shirts, I may pick one up this weekend. James, be good. Yes. This was given to me by Donna Jo Cat Lady. Positively Page, the Diamond Dallas Page story. And then he proceeds to give you the Diamond Cutter. I'm just kidding. It's signed. It's a really interesting read, not only talking about his life, but he talks about business, the business angles and things. I'm already maybe through about, I'd say, almost a quarter of this book. It's actually very fascinating. Also, the new issue of Goldmine has got the Scorpions. That's right, the Scorpions. One of my favorite 80s bands. I mean, they were around in the 70s too, but let's see here. Hang on a minute. Who's pinging me? Okay. All right. So let's plop an invite. Anybody really wants to plop on for a little while, that would be absolutely beautiful. Although I will admit, I didn't know Terry Draper was going to be on the Fab Forum, or maybe I wouldn't have done this tonight, because I like Klaatu. I do like Klaatu, but I will confess, I mean, I've got the first 3 albums of Klaatu. You know what? Thanks, George. I got to tell you the truth. Firstly, I didn't even know that they did for Crew Records. Okay. And you're right. I like this sleeve. And the record is very nicely minty. Very, very nice. Yes. Rest in peace, Ronnie Hawkins. I'm on my last broadcast, I brought that up. He, definitely an innovator, and also involved in the Beatle universe after the band broke up. John, he was involved with John, and then I think Ringo too, if I remember correctly. That's right. That is one of the biggest, and Klaatu didn't even ask for that. It was Capital Canada that went off, and I mean, there's YouTube videos out there about one of the biggest shams, they call it, in recorded history, and I remember in 1976 that album coming out, and I'm just okay. I will maybe after this. Thank you. So, but the thing is that all right. So like the album as a whole, okay, that whole album is a great album. It really, really is. It was a great start, but seriously, there's maybe 2 to 3 songs on that album that have that Beatle influence. Like, okay, I could see Sub Rosa Speedway or Sub Rosa, yeah, Sub Rosa Speedway or sub. I'm tired. It sounds like a Wings outtake. It really, really does. All right, and so that sounds like it. The voice changing in the middle of calling all occupants. Of course, Lennon liked to do that. Lennon did never liked his voice. So I could see Lennon trying, a trick like that. And one other song. But I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I think people were so, 76 was the year I think that everybody thought the Beatles were going to get back together per se. And if I remember right, that was the year that Sid Bernstein, I think, offered, I think it was $1 billion for them to come back for one show or something. That has something to do with Save the Whales or something. And I'm just like, look, if they're not going to get back together, the money is not the point. That was what they were trying. That was the point. $1 billion is not going to do this. And so, I mean, we had our things, didn't we? So Klaatu, yeah, we were excited. We thought it was the Beatles in disguise. And to my 9-year-old ears, I guess I was wishing that it was the Beatles in disguise. But you know what? After all the hoopla was done and over with by 77, oh no, it was more than a million, Mike. I can tell you that right now. Maybe $1 billion was a bit much, but I know it was more than $1 million because $1 million to the Beatles would be nothing. That's right, Dave, the pickup artist. SNL offered the what was it? $300? Yeah, it was $300. And I love how he had the check. If he had the check. No, I'm not saying you're wrong, Mike. I just don't know. I'd have to look it up, and I'm not in the mood to do that right now. So, I mean, I remember seeing that SNL episode, brand new, where he holds the check. This check is written out to the Beatles for $300. If you want to give Ringo less, and I'm like, and so John and Paul seeing that as that's happening, could you imagine if they're tired or whatever, and just simply decided like, hey, Paul, you want to go fuck with them over at Rockefeller? Sure, why not, John? Oh God, that would have been one of the iconic. Was it? Yeah. You know what? I could have sworn. Yeah. That's right. 50 million. I don't know why the hell I said $1 billion. I guess I would, but yeah, 50 million bucks. And they still turned it down. They still turned it down. I found a very cool 45. And if I ever find it again, I got it for like $2 from 1978. And okay, Mike says he looked it up, 230 million. Do I hear? Yeah, $250,000 is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, you're talking 230 million in 1976 money, or as Jimmy Walker would say in those annoying little Medicare commercials, money. No talent hack. All right, so I'm curious about something. Bear with me here as I bring up the one, the only, the legendary, the brother of another mother. This guy. That's right. And I love the shirt you got on today. I actually got
it's a nice Celtic Grateful Dead shirt. Yeah, beautiful.
So they announced literally yesterday that coming to the area here in December, though. So December is already turning. Let's see, 200. I'm sorry, $230 million in
You're doing good,
1970.
Mike.
So let's see, $230 million in 1976 to today's rate, right? So let's see. No, I don't want $230, jackasses. $230 would in 1976 would be $1,033 in 2019. So you're talking, let's say, 4 times. So 230 million times 4 would equivalent to being $920 million in 2019 money. So we're just going to roll it up. $1 billion in
$1 billion,
2022 money.
yeah.
So it would have been $1 billion. So yeah, they announced that for 3 nights in December down here, they are getting the jam band Zero, if you know of them at all. Steve Canuck, I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Never heard of Zero.
Zero cut some records. They think they started around 90. All right. But Zero was a jam band, and sometimes like people like Melvin Seals, oh God, I think Weir might have shown up once or twice with them. The main reason actually why I want to go is, oh, there you go, 1.3 billion. Why I want to go though is because the bassist for this run is none other than Pete Sears. Now, I don't know if you know who that is. He's an English musician who got his start in the mid-60s. He was on 3 of the early 1970s most selling popular Rod Stewart albums. He wrote and played bass and keyboards, but the main thing he is known for is from 74 to 87, he was the bass/keyboard player because he would alternate. That's right, you guys. Oh, Dave was quick up on that. Starship, Jefferson Starship and Starship. And so I've got a handful of signed albums from the early 80s to mid 80s that when I met, damn it. You know, I hate my guys. In case you haven't heard, you know, I've got COVID brain from last year, and it has not gone away. So I have to think harder. Damn it! The one that replaced Grace Slick, Thomas is his last name.
Oh, Mickey Thomas.
Thank you. So I've got several albums from that era signed by Mickey Thomas and drummer Donnie Baldwin. So I want to bring those albums because I kind of know the in and out of George's Majestic. And I'm just like, mainly I'm there to, you know, to other than to enjoy the music, to slightly torture Pete Sears. So I'm like, hey, would you? And it turned out he was on some psychedelic records too. I did not know that he was involved in the 1969 psych album CAC.
Yes, I remember the CAC album. Yes,
I remember I could see the cover, right? Like if I remember right, it was a chucked tambourine, like hitting the sun and like in the early morning dew. I'm going, this is a crazy looking album. And
yeah, and people, that's CAC, KAK. That's how they spelled it.
CAC. Let's see. Calvin says he invented Sears and Roebuck. Yeah, you're half correct there. Oh my God. Could you see, there you go. If Pete Sears was gonna have a duet, he'd have to get somebody named Roebuck and they could do that.
But
yes.
Paul, do you remember, like, after Lorne Michaels gave that $3,000 offer to the Beatles, a couple weeks later George Harrison was on the show with Paul Simon, and it started off with like him and like Lorne Michaels standing in the hallway, and George is like, well, $750 seems a little bit chintzy, and Lorne Michaels says, well, I happen to know there's an extra $350 in it if you introduce the show. And George looks at the camera and goes, live from New York, Saturday night,
You see, I love him. I truthfully, I think he's my favorite Beatle. I really, really do. It's
Oh,
taken
he had such a
all these years.
sense of humor.
All these years, I like swung to like I don't. Ringo was never Ringo. I'm sorry. I love Ringo, but he was never my favorite Beatle. But it would like go between Paul, John, and then George started in about the last decade. Start becoming to be
Mhm.
my favorite. I'm like, my God, this man was something else. You know what, Dave? You're right on that. And get this, okay? True story on this one. I contacted that art gallery. Like I want to say it was 7 to 10 days before his death. It was shortly before the hospitalization because I think he either died in the hospital or he went in the hospital and then died. So this was before the hospitalization, and the curator, the caretaker, whatever, they said no problem. Just he took my name down, and I said, look, when I send things, I always send them postpaid, the envelope, the mailers, everything. I said, nobody has to worry about nothing. I said, I'm not going to be greedy. I said, probably 2 to 3 at the most of different things. And if he wants, if I need to send a check, he goes, no, you don't have to do that. He's good to his fans. And I said, thank you very much. I can't even remember who that was. And then next thing I know, I'm getting it all prepared. And then he ends up in the hospital. And I'm just like, uh-oh. And then he's dead. And I'm like, damn it. But yeah, I mean, what was it? Okay, so when Jefferson's Starship came back, okay, so you're talking mid 2000s. And so it was a charity concert in Crystal Lake, Illinois. I knew at a theater I grew up at, going to every week for years. They turned it into a performing arts center. And it's called the oh good God, I hate this shit. The Rouse Center. It's called the Rouse Center. And so what happened was they were doing a charity concert for food banks in the area. And so I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it because my boss was kind of a jerk. I asked him way in advance and he still said no. And so I'm like, I rolled the dice. I brought one album. I brought the Spitfire album, the one with the dragon on it.
Mhm.
And I wrote a letter. I wrote a one-sided letter I said, to Paul and Marty. And I wrote this thing and I'm like, I will gladly cut a check for the organization if you please would sign this album for me to me. A few days after the concert, I get a phone call from the venue that said, Mr. Pease, your album is here, signed and ready to go. I'm going, oh my. And if I find it, I'll show it sometime. But I get it. And okay, so I'm a picky person. If I want something signed, okay, but since I wasn't there, I can't be a gift horse in the mouth, right? Everyone signed it. And I'm going, hold on a minute. There's only 2 that were on this damn album. And yet I've got other people that were in that band at that time signed that album too. Now, saying that, I got Prairie Prince's autograph. That's great. I like his drumming because he was that, but I'm like, Prairie's not on that. And I'm like, and the only autograph missing is Marty Balance. And I'm going, did he not want to sign this? Did I piss him off by this? I mean, I always try to be polite. And so it took me years, like almost 5 years, to get the answer to this. It turned out that even though he was shown in the promotional newspaper materials to come to the show, something bad happened with his daughter. A day or 2 before the gig, he had to temporarily excuse himself, and Marty wasn't even at the show that night. That was the unsolved mystery that was solved without Robert Stack's help. So But yeah, so I mean, I would have loved to have had signed balance stuff, but it is what it is. Jorma, I'm told, actually from the old airplane Hot Tuna, is actually very easily accessible. You can send him stuff care of Fur Peace Ranch. Get the address at Jorma's website.
Mhm.
Seriously, he encourages that out in
Yeah,
Ohio.
yeah,
So
he's great about that stuff. Yeah,
yeah, I've got a signed
he's
Jorma.
always been great about that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and let's see. And Shanny Annie gave me that Crown of Creation album that I didn't have. I'd say, I love Airplane, but probably my favorite album, collectible wise, is when Doug Fields gave me, I mean, it's a little worse for wear, but it plays through, and the cover maybe has a split about that much on top. Mono surrealistic pillow. And I'm like,
Mm.
that in mono blows my mind. And I'm just
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I
it
love it.
does. It's yeah.
I love it. Let's see here. I'm a little behind here. Dusty. Hi, Dusty. Didn't Gene Simmons say he was going to do something with each of the Beatles? You are correct. He was
Yes,
going to
yes,
try.
he was trying to get John and Paul like to sing backing vocals on it, you know.
It was oh God, what the hell was that song? I knew the exact song too. The only one that almost nibbled was Ringo. That was the only one that almost nibbled on
Or,
that concept.
you know, if I could think of the only song on the Gene Simmons album that like is like Beatles, like sound just like the Beatles, would probably be "See You Tonight." So I'm thinking that's the one he
Yeah,
probably
I like
wanted.
that. I like
Yeah,
that song.
oh, that's a great song. Yeah.
But yeah, I can't. Fallon was in the Airplane reunion '87, then had a solo. See, that's cool. Yeah, see, I like Chorma. I do. And I will confess, Hot Tuna did come here, and they opened for Tedeschi Trucks. They did, and I'm going, oh my God, they're gonna be here. And of course, there always was something. There always was something. So I didn't even get to see that. I would have loved to have seen some tuna. That's for sure. Remember, kids, you can always tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. Uh-oh. No, 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 no. What happened? Beans, beans, beans. What happened?
I'm here. I'm
What
here. I'm here.
happened?
I'm here. I'm
Okay,
here.
okay. No, beans, no.
I'm
I don't know
still
what
here.
happened.
I'm still here.
That was my fault. That was actually my fault. I'll admit it. So let's see. Let's see. That's the opening line of the Beatles. It's all too much to Jorma. And then I also got really quick, I'll mention, because next Thursday, I have to get tickets for this. I got Brave Little Toaster DVD. I love the movie. Kind of dark for back in the day, right? But I'm going to go get to see the dude that played the radio. Remember who was the voice of the radio?
I want to say Patton Oswalt, but that's probably wrong.
John Lovitz.
Oh,
John Lovitz will be at the Comedy Club. Is it pronounced Yarma? I don't know. I've always screwed up on that. But yes, so John Lovitz is gonna perform at the Comedy Club in the next town over, and I'm gonna hopefully get to go see him. I'm only gonna be able to afford to get one ticket if I'm gonna go. I have to pull the trigger probably by tomorrow if I'm gonna do this. But I'm gonna try to get that signed, and I have the Critic. The two seasons of the Critic.
yeah.
I love that damn show.
Love the Critic. Yeah.
Yeah. See. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's the ticket. I'm married to Morgan Fairchild. Who might
Yeah, it was always Morgan Fairchild. Yeah.
Or Master Thespian.
Yes.
Actor genius. Thank you.
Acting genius. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God! What was it? Robin Williams did one with him on SNL. I'm going. I said this is great, but the one, and I've gone to it several times for a good laugh, where he plays the devil on the People's Court. sketch, and I'm going, and I love, and it just maybe next time you'll get it in writing. I had it in writing. I love the other part. Jan Hooks. What's your occupation? I'm a professional barfly. And Phil Hartman is the judge. Oh my God, I miss him. I miss Phil Hartman.
I love both of them. Jan Hooks was amazing.
You're right.
Yeah.
She's gone too. It's
Like, yeah. She died at like 53,
Jeez.
something like that. Cancer. Yeah.
Ladies, lower your standards. Oh, that's it. I've got Rat Race. I got the Rat Race DVD cover too. I'm gonna try to get that. See, I also try to okay, ladies and gentlemen, my son, my oldest son is on here. You know what? This is what's up. It's the Wednesday night what? I thought of Stone Cold Steve Austin. What? Every 2 seconds it was I don't know if you guys remember this, but my favorite one probably with the whole what angle, which I never understood why that ever happened. But it's like I gotta lube my lube my throat. That's what she said. You know what? Damn it. It's right. All we're saying is give peace a chance. That's right. So that's right. Third Rock, love Third Rock. But I love what Stone Cold would go, I got to tell you a story, Vince. It was about a man named Jed. What? From Mountain. What? Barely kept his family fat. And he kept doing that for like 2 minutes. I'm like, I said, okay, that's great. You get away with that one. I watched a clip the other day where Mick Foley shows up as Mankind to see Vince in the hospital. And there's some nurse who goes, you got somebody here to see you, Mr. McMahon? And you see Mankind with the present and balloons like, oh, Vince. And I'm like, oh, fuck no. It's man. And it's like, oh, shit, no, it's you. And I love it. And then what is it? Does that with the balloon animals and shit, brings the clown. Next thing you see way off to the side, you just see this guy come in and the nurse turns around and goes, well, what do you think about the prognosis, doctor? And all you hear is, well, personally, and I'm going, oh no. And he goes, he just prescribed him a can of whoop ass, and you see him run real quick with the bedpan and fucking hits him, gong, and I'm like, yes. Hey, Mike, how are you? We're just having some fun here. This is the goal of the day. So glad to see you too. You're right, League of Their Own. That is right. And look, Mike says hi to the Mike, to the Mike, and my son up here to the Mike. And a hip hop. You know,
we get triple Mike. Triple Mike.
M3. So the thing is, so 0, but that's in December. And then June 19th, Morris Day and the motherfucking time. Now, ooh. Donna Jo Cat Lady is very nice and gracious. She went off and bought, I did not know Morris Day wrote a book. She got 3 copies, one for each of us, so that at least if I get to go torture Morris, I hope to get a side book out of this. I'm still going to try to, because I went to one of my antique malls that have vinyl, like this one usually has a really good selection. And a few weeks ago, I'm not kidding you, there was a bunch of Morris Day in the Time vinyl. There was 12-inch singles. There was the albums. I was going to go scoop it. There wasn't one to be damn found. I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, I'm not kidding you. It was like maybe 2.5 weeks since I was over there. Oh. One more mic and we get quad.
Quad mic.
Love Morris Day in the Time fan since 1990. Yes, had the book. I'm about halfway through it. Oh, see.
Okay. Here's your quad mic. The Mike Nesmith produced Ian Matthews album from '73, Valley High.
Oh,
everybody needs to check this out. It's a country rock, like just brilliant.
Ooh, beans. That's on my list. That's my Floyd the Bar. Ooh, ooh. Hey. Oh, here's the one that I did this on the radio once or twice, just in the middle, between songs and stuff. I had the Andy theme, and I would go off into the mic. Nobody knew it was going. Like, hey Andy, hey Barney, how are you? And Andy, do you mind if I take Opie camping for the weekend? I'd like to go camping with Opie. Yes. Yeah. Yes. It was so lecherous, and people would call in, going, "What the hell?" And
that's another one that did that voice. When Rick Moranis on SCTV would do
God, yes.
Mike, was it Merv Griffin? He's like, ooh. He's always like, ooh.
I love the Merv. The Merv is great, and I actually like Dave Thomas's Bob Hope. I'm like, that's so good. And then
he'd start way up here like this, and then down like this.
And of course,
Uncle Floyd.
Oh God, yeah, the vampire's got a turtleneck and he's howling. and I love the one. Okay, this one always gets me every fucking time, and it segues into another favorite bit. So Uncle Floyd up there, he goes, as he always goes, "Oh, this is gonna be a scary one. Gonna scare your pants off. It's the guy who Pittsburgh. What is it? I'm in the middle of the. What? We don't have that one. We don't have that one, boys and girls, but I'm telling you, according to what he just told me, we've got something even more scarier. Oh, this is gonna be good. Make sure you wear your 3D glasses. If you don't have your 3D glasses, said 1995, and the price was always up $5 more since the last time. 1995. Roll it. And it's as soon as you hear him go, roll it. This episode of Dick Cavett is brought to you by a grant from the Chubb Corporation. And it goes right into Cavett, and I'm going, which I love Moranis' Cavett impression. But I love what happens next. He goes, basically cut to the chase. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? I'm like, yes. Yeah, the first time I saw that, I almost fell out of my chair. I'm like, fuck, it's him. And I always love that bit. It's like, and I'm like, I knew damn well Matt Groening took half from that. And I'm like, yes. You see, Dick.
Yeah.
I put on two hats.
Yeah, and I remember like John Candy with his like 3D cats. He'd be like,
it's a 3D record. Woo, it's 3D 4 seasons. Woo. Oh, that's scary.
And then every time they showed a clip on like Uncle Floyd's show, like he'd come back and it would be like this lame ass clip, and he'd be like, "Oh, wasn't that scary, kids? Oh."
I like it. The one time he was caught, he was smoking. He was just sitting there against the wall doing it. He's like, oh, and he drops the fucking cigarette. I'm like,
ooh.
What was it? A true story. So before Krusty ever came out, okay, I had this bit, and it was called Cokie the Clown, because Cokie was he was this R-rated clown, sometimes X-rated, because he'd do all kinds of shit. And the thing was that he had his assistant. He had this girl dressed like in trapeze. She'd do a trapeze act. So she looked hot though, right? And so the thing was, the cameraman hated his guts. And we find out because the cameraman originally went up for that part and lost. So instead of not getting anything, he ended up being the cameraman. So at least he could make some money. So the cameraman was always pissed off at Cokie. And so he'd be smoking the cigars just like crazy. I mean, we're talking like 2-3 years before this.
Mm-hmm.
But the fun part was he would get so pissed, he'd cut back early, and you'd see Cokie either shooting up. He was in the middle or taking a swig of like Southern Comfort, or he was getting and, what? And he's like, oh, from the circus girl. That was what I came up with several years before Krusty. And I'm just like, Joey, oh God, Joey Heatherton.
Oh
I
man.
love you. Have my baby. All the time with the have my baby. I want you to have my babies. My God.
Do you remember, Paul, like on SCTV, Mel's Rock Pile?
Oh my God, Mel's Rock Pile. just like.
And I remember the episode where he had Richard Harris on
That's
doing
the
MacArthur
first thing
Park.
I thought of.
Yeah.
As soon as before
And
you
like
said that.
in between the verses where it's like instrumental, he's just like he's just up there for like 2 minutes just doing this.
Oh
like,
my God. just you know what? I'm going to tell you something. That Richard Harris, if I could go back in time, I would have smacked him across the mouth and ripped the lyrics to MacArthur Park. Nobody gives a shit about a cake in the rain, and
nobody cares about your damn cake, and you'll never get the recipe again. Nobody
and then
cares.
I go back, I go forward and smack Donna Summer too for covering it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe I will.
Yeah, you know what we need? We need a disco version.
She was a bad girl.
She was a bad girl.
And she did work hard for the money. I hated it that towards the end of Donna Summer, she went all well, I don't want to say Broadway. She tried she tried to go the Linda Ronstadt route and didn't do real good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, even that, what is it? What do you want to call it? The standards, the big band stuff. I'm like, I'm sorry. I mean, I love the old stuff, but I don't. The cake cares. Yeah, there you go. Cake lives matter. Brought to you by the United Baking Council.
But you know what? Like everything. Like, I mean, have you ever seen Schitt's Creek?
I love Schitt's Creek. I love it. I'm so far behind on that show. My mother loves that show.
I'll tell you what. Anything Eugene Levy does is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, Catherine O'Hara, like back in the day, like what a cutie.
Oh, I had the hots for Catherine O'Hara back then. I'd be
like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh God, and I got to tell you something else too, since we were talking about SCTV. Okay, shit. Not Catherine, the other one, the one that played Mrs. The station manager, sort of.
Oh, Andrea Martin.
That's it. Okay, so when Andrea Martin and Dave Thomas would do this is so and so, and this is my husband, and we own this shop. And the shop always seemed to change names, but it was the tone in her voice.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to believe this. I came across. I knew where she caught this from. There used to be a kiddie show in Chicagoland in the mid '60s called Mulqueen's a Go-Go. It was black and white. So imagine an American Bandstand type show, but little kids. There's a clip New Colony 6 perform on this show. And there's another, for the life of me, I cannot remember the other band, but I can tell you, before I get to that though, so Jeannie Mulqueen, I think was her name, the host. She would end up doing these Dominic's ads, which was a big time grocer in the Chicagoland area in the 70s. The cadence and the tone of her voice was exactly like hers, and I'm going, she copped the Dominic's ads. I'm like, I was laughing. I'm going, that is perfect. She imitated Mulqueen perfectly. But so Mulqueen a Go-Go in '65, they had, I think the band was called the Mulqueens or something like that. I found that 45 in a wall in a McHenry record store in McHenry, Illinois. The dude used to let me buy 45s by a stack. I'd throw him a 20. He didn't even bother to look. He goes, "Thank you. I found some nice Beatles. I found a lot of Chicago era mid 60s, late 60s rarities, and this was one of them." On one side of the 45, the A side, there was a unknown guitar player, a 15-year-old guitar player, first song publicly recorded and released in 65.
From the Chicago area or era, like
Sorta, yes. He would leave the Chicagoland area by the early 70s and move to Michigan. Other than that, and that ought to have been enough hint for you right there.
well, to see, I was gonna say you're either talking about like like Rick Nielsen, but like that's Illinois,
Oh, it is Illinois. You're right.
or Terry Kath.
No, that would have been fun. Ted Nugent, a 15-year-old Ted Nugent on a foot. Very good, Mike. That's right. Oh, geez, how we got?
Yeah. Pre-Journey, yeah.
Ask you to think to me. But pre-Amboy Dukes, that's right. And to find that 45, and it's okay. It's an okay record for 65, but when you know who it is that's playing guitar, you're listening for the guitar, and the guitar part was good. I'm just like, I still remember I saw promotional material. That's why I kept saying I wish I was born 10 years sooner, because I could have gone to a lot of the club scene in the Chicagoland area. We're not even talking Chicago. The WLS and CFL would have these teen dances, and they would have these teen clubs, and they would go and have all these bands to come for cheap. The Who made an appearance at a teen club in St. Charles, Illinois, and in Arlington Heights, Illinois, 6 months before Tommy came out. Can you imagine going to a teen club that held 250 people at the most when Pete chucked his guitar? When Pete chucked his guitar, it stuck into the ceiling, hang down. That's how in late 68. And I mean, what was it? The Yardbirds, like weeks before it went and turned into Zeppelin. I'm like, so you're seeing the dying days of the Yardbirds, and they just had so many cool. I came across. Eventually, I want to do a series just on Chicago area bands or Illinois, because that's where I'm from. I came across the first Flock album today. If you guys haven't heard the Flock, the Columbia era stuff, which is the Flock and Dinosaur Swamps, I behoove you to go listen on YouTube. And then you're going to want to get those damn albums. The star of the show, everybody in that band was great, but the one who broke out was violinist Jerry Goodman, who would end up going to Mahavishnu Orchestra. And he has a solo career now, too. That's right, the New Yardbirds. So it was weeks before the New Yardbirds, Mike, when they still had Keith Rolfe and company. Yay.
Yep. Paul, I'll be right back. All right.
Okay, that's fine. Yay. But all kinds of fun, guys. I appreciate you guys coming around here. I'm just going to probably be on till about, I'd say 9:30ish, because I tried to, I had a headache earlier. I took a little nap. I would have gladly taken the offer of somebody's suggestion. Okay, hold on. I got to say this like this. We appreciate the Peaser. The Peaser. Here's my shitty imitation of Pauly Shore. Whistle. There, that was it. Oh man. So yeah, more Stay in the Time coming here June 19th. Montel Jordan opening up for them. Mr. This Is How We Do It. And I think we're going to have a handful of people. Oh, and here comes the next one. She's so beautiful, talented, and has a lot to show for it, ladies and gentlemen. A new favorite here on the Psycho universe. Shani Annie.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Yeah, I just got back from Wally World, so.
Oh, you ended up going to do the Freon bit.
Yeah, Freon Neon, man.
You didn't have anybody go off and go, you went off and scuffed my car.
Scuffed my car.
I can't do a good Texas thing.
But with my situation, I thought I could sneak into back jack and not get no flack back. But automotive was closed. Automotive was closed. But
already?
But mom wanted bread. So I had to schlep all the way across from automotive.
She wanted a Freon sandwich?
But whole grain. So
a whole grain Freon sandwich. Okay, I see.
Whole grain.
We have to eat healthy here on the Freon sandwiches. Yeah. Oh God, piecers, teasers.
Okay, look, here we go. This is a tip for your headache, okay?
Yeah.
You find the slack spot in your thumb.
Yeah.
And we don't feel it actually being pinched. You pinch the heck out of it real hard, okay? And if you can't get someone to do it for you, I bite it. And if it's in the front, hey, it might be witchy or it might be itchy, but I'm just saying it is never. Hey, I've met a lot of people in bars with headaches. It never failed to help them. A lot of people were like, wow, that's amazing. So it's just a tip. These little slack spots right here. You met my friend T over there for a few minutes, but she does reflexology that will make you want to be in an iron butterfly video. You'll be like just I got to be
baby.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a reflexology thing. Because
yes.
Remember this, every little thing the reflex does leaves an answer to the question mark. See, that was a Duran joke.
Wisdom. The wisdom that you can learn just from this channel. I mean, look, we've already talked about medicines, flocks, scratched cars, reflexology. I mean, the wisdom that you can get from Psycho's platters is amazing.
I got a scratched car. You're the one that scratched my door. You're a little pussy bitch.
The one thing I'm missing tonight, though, is cat butthole. I don't think that I can get through the night without cat butthole.
Well, I don't know what happened. The cat was on here earlier. We will have to ask Kevin to get to show the cat butthole.
Like I talk about Mr. Holt's sign, that's universal apparently. I just want to know what his means to the universe. It may mean something to somebody out there where they look at it and go, oh my God, that's what I've been looking for all my life. So,
you just
we should have more appearances. But I've got to go make a Freon sandwich.
Yay.
With mayonnaise and whole grain bread. So I will talk to you later.
All right, hon. All right, let's see. While we're waiting for Beans to come back, boy, oh boy, guys. See, now she wants cat butthole. And free on, free on. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is not endorsed by Paul Rogers, Simon Kirk, Paul Kossoff, even though Paul Kossoff, and Andy Frazier. See, it took me 2 seconds to remember. But it's all right now, you know. Sometimes I should be ashamed of my musical puns, but I'm not, because that's just how I am. What's Freon? Freon is what you'd put that in your car that recharges your AC system. That's the chemical, Freon.
Yes.
You can get it at Walmart.
And Free is one of the best late 60s British blues bands of all time.
It is. I love Free. I don't have everything, but I think I brought up many moons ago the album that's got the girl jumping and you see the stars, right?
The self-titled album, the second album.
Thank you. So the story goes, okay, and I read this story, I think it was in Classic Rock Magazine. If it wasn't Classic Rock Magazine, it was Goldmine, where the photographer who would end up being, like, that was one of his early assignments. And he would end up going to photograph better covers and better things. Originally, it was a girl that was in the nude jumping off of a milk crates or something. So he was underneath, took the shot, or she could have panties on. But the point of the matter is there was at least some semi-nudedom here. A woman of age, and instead replaced it with the star portion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, by the way, Shani was up here when you just. She joked and said that, well, maybe she was serious, Lord knows, that how she could get through the night without seeing your cat's butthole like Wednesday. What's the name of that cat?
That was Dr. Grumbles. Yeah.
Dr. Grumbles?
Dr. Grumbles, yes.
Okay, I gotta know, what's with Dr. Grumbles?
Just that's how she is. She gets testy and, she grumbles a lot, Sometimes she'll be like all like, oh, like she loves you to death. Other times you go to like pet her and she's like, rawr.
Yipes.
She's like Dr. Grumbles.
Next on the Cat Whisperer. The feline is possessed. By the power of Purina.
And I'm the only one. We got her like when my last wife and I got together. We got her as a kitten, and at one point we had like 9 cats in the house, and she hated that. Like I think there was too many cats for her. But ever since my ex-wife left, like and there's like only 3 cats in the house, like she's just delightful. Great.
See, that's why she probably got all stressed out because there was so many damn.
I think there was too many damn cats.
Yeah, too many pussies there. They had to reduce. We had to reduce the kitty cat count.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. So yeah.
But I want to show this. This is the only. This is the only Ted Nugent. Well, no, I have what was that album he did? Like the breakup album, the Marriage on the Rocks album.
Yeah,
have that. But like this comp of like the early Amboy Dukes on mainstream.
Kev, I may have that, but I'd have to look around. I found that in okay shape, and then the Marriage on the Rocks that you're talking about, I can't remember if I still have that or gave that to a friend. And I could have sworn that I had Journey to the Center of the Mind, but it wasn't in great shape. But I got it anyway because the price was right. So, Nuge. I know that his music has pretty much slid downhill. He's still great live. I've seen him a couple times, but the album's not so much. I mean, the last album I remember buying brand new, and I was so disappointed. I did a review on it a couple of years ago, actually, and it felt like half an album because what he did was he took he did a remake of Fredbear. I'm going again. Well, we already know what Fredbear is, and then he did a slight reworking of another one of his songs, and I'm going, you know what, dude? Just don't do it. Either that or make a strong EP, okay? I don't want to go and spend, you know. But I guess he's got a new one coming, and there's a few guest stars this time, so who knows? You know, maybe it will be okay. Flea market near me has a couple. Yeah, I think you should get the one that Kevin's showing.
You really should. Yeah.
You know what? That's okay. The music is all that matters. I really don't like it when anybody in entertainment goes off and spouts their views. That's musicians, actors, any of the like. I think they should just keep it to them damn selves. That's all I'm saying about it.
Or at least if you're gonna write about it, write it really subtly, where like people can like think like, you know, it might be about this, might be about something else. Like, you know, I mean, we all like every song that's ever written, like it's all subjective. Like we all like, you know, take our own imagination and turn it into what we think it is about, you know. But yeah,
Mike says
being overtly political, like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Right. I mean, there's times and places for that. I picked up 3 CDs last weekend. Portugal the Band. I've heard of Portugal. Black Keys, I bet you that was good. And you know what? That Def Leppard, I think it's called what? Diamond Star Halos. I'm a little nervous. I was going to get that myself, but I want to listen to a little bit more of it first. Yeah, that's the way Elvis did it. Yeah, I think, like I said, if oh God, what was it? They were like okay, the Beatles and the Monkees in group interviews for, you know, the press was told, you don't ask these questions. They were told this before the press conferences, and it's like, I think one time, I think maybe it was in, like, for example, late '68 when I think when the Monkees went to Tokyo in not the Monkees, the Beatles Tokyo '66, right after was Manila after or before Tokyo?
I think Manila was before.
Okay, so I want to say that when the Beatles hit Budokan in '66, somebody said a question. Epstein tried to block it, and somebody, I want to say it was John or George, opened their mouth and was basically like, they were getting, I think Paul was chiming in for 2 seconds too, but then they're like, next question. They cut that off. And then when the Monkees went to Japan in '68, it was the same thing. They asked him, and I remember Vietnam was spit out. I want to say it was Mike. It was Mike or Mickey that opened their mouths, and we're talking about that. And I'm going, you know, I mean, you can have your opinions. You know, it's just like, okay, listen, guys, I'm going to throw this out there. You guys tell me in the peanut gallery, and Kev, tell me some here. Seriously? So you're telling me David Gilmour and Nick Mason got together, called themselves Pink Floyd with the two there, and went with that Russian or Ukrainian musician. Why? The song sucked, and if you're trying to tell me under unity, which we will not go there today, Ukraine is a sham, ladies and gentlemen. It is a sham. Go look into it. I'm not going to tell you. Go explore and self-discover why it's a sham. New Nazi regime. Yeah. Go look it up. But we stand by, you know what? Whatever. Okay. I mean, like, I even thought going back to the 80s, sure, Live Aid was a great thing. I thought Live Aid was great. It was a nice event. Since Woodstock, you were never going to get, and we're talking global though. You didn't get even the Live 8 didn't do justice like the original Live 8.
No, Live 8 was the biggest thing ever globally, like hands down concert, like biggest thing ever.
Yeah. Did you get to watch a bunch of it?
Oh, I watched the whole thing. I stayed up all day, all night, and watched the whole thing.
Let's see. So I was excited for a handful of acts. Sabbath getting back together for those 4 songs. I'm like, oh, hell yes. And I'm like, that's great. And then they're like, coming soon, Zeppelin will take the stage. And I was waiting. I'm going, oh my God, I get to see this finally. And then it happened. And I was so let down. And part of it was the sound issues. Part of it was under rehearsal. Part of it was, why the fuck did you let Phil Collins in? Oh, I'm the only artist that I jetted on the Concorde just to get. Who gives a shit? Nobody needed you. Put Jason Bonham in.
See that whole Zeppelin set? Like they had Tony Thompson up there,
and different.
Which he's an amazing drummer.
Yes,
I don't think Phil Collins could have added anything to that. There's
Tony
no
was
way.
In Power Station, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And I love that first album. I do.
Oh, that first album's amazing. Yeah.
And I'm like, just great stuff. Yes, Mike, we're talking about Live Aid.
But yeah, so, Phil Collins added nothing to like the whole thing, you know?
Right. That's right. He didn't. It was just a flash in the pan bullshit. And I'm like
he didn't even he botched the beginning to Rock and Roll because he didn't know it, you know?
Like, do your homework, Collins. You do it for Genesis, you could do it for 2 seconds for Zepp.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're flying over here from England on the Concorde, what do you have to do for the next 6 hours? You know, just like
exactly.
You know, yeah.
Exactly.
Bone up on the 4 Zeppelin songs you're gonna play, you know.
But I mean, and then we had those cool 80s acts. We had all kinds it got played on there. Mercury and Queen. Oh God.
Oh, Queen stole the whole show. Like Queen took over the whole thing.
And I loved Queen. Okay.
And do you remember during the Who, during their set, the power went out?
Actually, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Like the feed just stopped. While they were doing Won't Get Fooled Again. For 5 minutes there was nothing. It just
I remember a story that Roger said. And in a way, I'm glad they didn't do this, but they were going to introduce a new song. Okay, so if you remember getting the Roger Daltrey solo album Under a Raging Moon, great album. That might be the last Roger Daltrey album I ever bought.
Yeah, that is a great album.
But the story goes that, of course, that's how him and Pete sort of got, because Pete wrote After the Fire. And they were going to originally introduce that as a new Who song at Live Aid. But because I don't know if it was Pete or Roger or one of the other ones, they didn't have enough time to rehearse and flesh out the song. That's why it didn't get played. And so instead landed on the solo album.
Mm-hmm.
And I also will throw this out here for a quick commercial. Go get, though, since I said that was the last Roger Daltrey album I bought brand new, go get Roger's last one that he did a couple years back. Pete is all over that damn thing. He's on 7 or 8 tracks, and it's blues. You people are going to love it. I just wish I had the title in front of my face because it is great.
I will tell you. Okay, let me look it up here to see when it came out. The last Roger Daltrey album that I bought that was a great album. It was a really good album. Rocks in the Head from '92.
Oh God, I forgot about Rocks in the
Yeah.
Head. That one was oh my God, they did play one song on the
Oh,
radio. And I think I'm
Days of
thinking,
Light. Days of Light,
that's
the
it.
first single.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot about that Days of Light. That was a good
Yeah.
song. I don't think I
Yeah.
ever bought the album, but I
No,
got, yeah,
that was it. That was a good album. Yeah.
I'll have to look up for that one too. I still have a copy of Under the Raging Moon though, somewhere in the collection, but I was just like, and especially the title track, all those drummers taking their turns. I'm like, that's great. You know, what a way to, for a Keith Moon tribute. What a way. That was just awesome. Sorry guys, hang on a second. Solo career discography. That's right. Oh, As Long as I Have You from 2018, which was the last thing he did since Rocks in the Head. In 92, like you said. And yeah, As Long as I Have You, Pete Townsend is on 7 to 8 of those songs. In a way, that's kind of like a Lost Who album, but it's blues covers. It's beautiful stuff. It really, really is. I would suggest getting that.
And also the album he did with
Yes, I'm listening.
with Wilco Johnson from Dr. Feelgood.
I still have
Going
yet to
Back
get
Home
that.
in 2014. That's a great album too.
I have heard a track or two
Really good
off
album.
of that. And you know, Wilco is still alive. And I thought I heard Roger was considering doing another damn album with Wilco. It's like, yes, please and thank you. You know, after you get done with your Who tour.
Yeah, that's not a bad album at all. That's
That
really
Rocks in
good.
My Head has appearances by Ricky Byrd from Joan Jett and the Blackhearts and Robert Lamb from Chicago. Go figure. I thought about getting Roger's autobiography. Really good. Mr. Kibblewhite. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That is a go get it. In fact, if you have a Barnes and Noble, you still might actually find it in the $5 bins, because that's where I grabbed mine. Was in the $5 bins over there at Barnes and Noble. I get it. Roger Wilco, over and out. Yes. Well, yeah, but that As Long as I Have You. So anybody that loves the Who, anybody wants blues tinged adultery, because let's face it, that's how kind of the Who got started. They played that good old R&B and the soul, and I'm like, what was it? I ended up after the Who broke up. I remember getting that Who's Missing on cassette, because I don't know if it ever got put out on vinyl. If it did, I'd love to get it, and I remember playing that. I used to beat the shit out of my Who cassettes on my Walkman. And I just would turn the shit up, and I'm like, oh, here's stuff I've never heard before. And what was it? Shout and Shimmy was one. And then there was, but then they went and they put the B-sides.
Oh, yeah. I think Who's Missing originally came out on vinyl, because that was like 87, 88, something like that.
Okay, then yeah, it would have been.
Came out, yeah.
But to hear, to me, Lost stuff like
Shout
Heaven and Hell.
Shimmy.
I don't even know myself. I'm going.
Yeah, all those great B-sides like Heaven and Hell and I Don't Even Know Myself. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just awesome stuff. And I'm like, and I will say this, that in my opinion, from 68 to 73, they could do no wrong.
No.
Boom, 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 boom. It's like it's like from, I think, what, Magic Bus came out in 68, right? So from Magic Bus to Quadrophenia, it's like they could do no wrong. And it's like boom, boom, boom. It was beautiful stuff. And it was like, but I wish I could say, you know, I bought stuff. My first brand new Who album was Who by Numbers. That's when I got into them, because I'm like, oh
yeah, and even that's a great album. That's a great album from a 60s band that's still going strong in like 75, you know.
And you know, my first copy,
I mean, Squeeze Box, I mean, come on, man, you know. Yeah.
I was 9. Of course I connected the dots. I'm like I had that copy for years, and then it got lost, and then I found another one that nobody connected the dots. I'm like, that's the way it's staying. That, and I don't know how many copies of Shiloh from Neil Diamond I have come across where everybody connects the dots on the Shiloh thing. And I actually found a copy without the dots connected. And my buddy was like, how much is it? And I'm going, couple bucks. Can you get, all right. So he ended up with a minty copy of a unconnected Shiloh. Shiloh. No, I'm not going there. But yeah, I mean the Who. Oh my God. And you know, shit. I should have went on that '89 tour, the reunion tour. I'm like, that's the tour I should have went on.
Yeah. When Pete's playing acoustic because his hearing is so like fucked that he can't play electric anymore. Yeah.
See, what got me excited about all of that was because and I even came across a copy of this today too, but I've had mine now. Pete Townshend's The Iron Man. Okay, with Dig. I love Dig. I thought I don't even know why they've got the Who to do a cover of Crazy World of Arthur Brown's Fire. I'm going, they could have replaced that with something else. I understand that it was part of the story, but in the original plot points. But I'm going, oh wow, the Who are together again, and then I'm yep. That is a hell of an album.
That is that's an amazing album. Great album. Yeah.
And I have to thank Doug Fields for allowing me. Okay, so I hope I'm not born. I appreciate the 10 people. You know, I had up to 25 people in here earlier, Tim. I think the Terry Draper interview is what, and I don't blame it. Terry Draper is more important than the Mighty Psycho. He's got a lot more stories probably. So, but in 2019, in September 2019, the Yes tour came, the Royal Affair. Okay, so you had in Yes was the headliner, but up to that, okay, so you had Carl Palmer's ELP Experience. Okay, that was the opener with special guest Arthur Brown. So he was there. He did Fire and he did a couple other songs. He did some ELP songs. He sang, okay? So that was your opener. Then it was John Lodge from the Moody Blues. Then it was Asia with it was the Jeff Downs, Carl Palmer version of Asia with oh my God.
With special guest Bev Bevan. There we go.
Exactly. And from GNR, he was on Chinese Democracy. Oh my God, it's not Buckethead, okay? It's the other guy.
Bumblefoot, or
that's it, Bumblefoot. Bumblefoot was taking John Wetton's part in the band. Okay, so he sang and played and played guitar. And I can't remember who the bassist was, but it was a decent lineup. And then what happened is the last 4 songs, Steve Howe came on stage with them. So you had 3/4 original lineup. And I was just like, oh boy, see, there's a long running joke about the Billy Bevan bit. Okay. We're just going to go that way.
Yeah. The whole Bev Bevan thing is like, the original drummer for The Move and then later ELO, like we used to have a thing going on like about like a year and a half ago where like Bev Bevan showed up in everything, So
I was laughing till I was crying one of those days. I kind of miss him. I miss the other guy. I don't know what.
Yeah, I miss those streams. I miss like when we'd have like like Starman Brinley and Ethan Alexanian and.
That's it, Ethan. When I used to torture Ethan, do you know I actually found that damn, like after he stopped broadcasting, I found the damn 45 that he wanted on Duram. And I tried to message him.
You actually found the time box?
Yeah.
Single?
And now he doesn't answer. I'm going, so now it's back in another box somewhere because I had it out for a while and then I moved things around again. I should have taken a picture just to tease. But yeah, I still have the Time Box 45. So
Yeah, but that used to be a running joke that like Bev Bevan was a drummer in every late '60s band that's still going on nowadays.
and then he ended up in Sabbath to go from all that and
Oh yeah,
to
in
Sabbath.
Sabbath, yeah.
I just strange. It's like wherever he can get 20 quid, I'll do it. And I think
Well, I mean, sure, he's a working musician. What's he gonna do? What else does he know?
Right. I think Bev, if I remember correctly, I have to go back into my P.U. Pinchloaf vinyl. I think Bev actually did a drum track or two for one of the 80s albums. I think. I can't remember if it's Royal Flush or the infamous Captain's Log. Which, believe it or not, for that album, for Captain's Log, was real weird because originally they had two different concepts, because half of the band was Star Trek fans, which of course that would make sense, right? And the other half, this is pre-Pirates of the Caribbean, they were into pirate movies. And so they wanted to meld it's kind of a disaster, that album is. I mean, in fact, there's an outtake, and I know they were being silly, but it was who's in love with the drunken phaser. What the fuck's that got to do with anything? Who's in love with the drunken
phaser? In love with the drunken phaser early in the morning.
Is he? Okay, you've heard it. All right, yeah, that's exactly it. Go look up P.U. Pinchloaf, 9 people out there, in Discogs. Go type it in and see their extensive catalog. I dare you.
See, I've never heard of P.U. Pinchloaf until like I was on one of Paul's streams. I'm like, well, this got to be something. He keeps bringing them up. It's got to be real. It's got to be a real band. It's got to be a real band.
So, kids, it's a fake band, but it's one I really want to happen. And it's like I'm trying to come up with a real logo and some mock. I'm trying to get the people that did my logo for my channel. I'm trying to get them to do like at least one mock P.U. Pinchloaf cover and put it up on Discogs. And I would come up with this fake ass information. And the people would be like, oh my God, they only made 50 copies back in 1969.
You know what? If somebody would have clicked onto that and took that seriously and started a band called P.U. Pinchloaf, I would be the first person to buy their album.
I'm working on trademark. There's a few things I'm trying to trademark, and I'm not kidding you. P.U. Pinchloaf. Say, Mr. P, there's actually some kids out in Portugal that want to have. Are you shitting me? No, sir. Yeah. They want to buy the name. And then I'd be like, hang on. Hey, honey, somebody wants to buy Pinchloaf name.
Hey, honey, remember that bullshit thing I came up with 18 months ago? Yeah, it's a thing now. It's a thing.
This goes to show you how common society is in the social media world that we live in now. Things are faster. That's not always good. It's not
always good.
Just because something's instant in your fingers. That didn't sound right.
But yeah. In a perfect world, P.U. Pinchloaf would exist. And it would be the best rock band of all time.
They would be Dimension X's Status Quo. That's sold millions and millions. Exactly. Now I'm sticking it to the Status Quo fans. So okay, Kev, I tried to like Status Quo. It's a big thing in UK. It's big in Europe. And other than Pictures of Matchstick Men and Rockin' All Over the World, I haven't liked a damn song that I've heard from Status.
See, that's the thing. I like their first 2 albums, the psychedelic period, because that's my favorite music of all time is psychedelic stuff. But the first 2 albums, Picturesque Matchstickable Men or whatever it's called, and Spare Parts are I love those 2 albums. After that, I have no interest in even learning about them.
See, I tried. I mean,
because it went to that like that like boogie rock type thing, which I'm not a
right.
huge fan of anyway. So.
And they were at Live Aid too. And I remember
Mhm.
seeing that, and I'm going, oh, I gotta go to the. I'm gonna go back.
Yeah, them playing like
Back in the
rocking
old
all over the world and like almost Saturday Night, which like is a a John Fogerty song that they covered, had a huge hit with in the UK.
right. And Slade's another one. And I know some people are gonna go, oh no, okay, look, all right. Slade, I like some of it, but like Slade was like immensely popular in the 70s in the UK, not here. And I'm like, and Quiet Riot took all the Slade stuff and made it palpable for us in the 80s. Now, saying that, when Slade came back into the US conscious in the 80s, oh, you're damn right I bought the album with Run Away. Or
and oh my, yeah. I believe in loving my oh my.
I love that album. I do. And I think I bought because that one was Keep Your Hands Off My Power Supply, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I bought Rogues Gallery.
Yeah,
and
Rogues
then they
Gallery.
Make another Slade record in America. I'm like,
yeah. Rogues Gallery is the last one I heard because
yeah.
I think it's the last one they put out here.
So it's
but I am a huge 70s Slade fan. I mean, I love like everything they did from the time their first album came out. They were called Ambrose Slade.
Right. I heard about that. I don't know. Maybe I need to just give them another listen. I mean, my tastes go all over the place. It's just, I think I
think so. I mean, they had like silly songs. Like they had like a huge hit called like "The Bangin' Man." It's like, really, "The Bangin' Man"? Like that's a single you put out? Like that? Yeah.
Oh my God! They should have played that as an underlying soundtrack to any time the humping robot on Robot Chicken.
Here comes a banging man. Yeah.
Ching, 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 ching. My favorite one is when they're making fun of Grease and he's humping the jukebox. I'm like, yes. Tears are almost coming. And the tune keeps changing because he's hitting the record.
Yeah.
Guys, I have a mind of a 12-year-old.
Okay? Yeah. Oh, I do too. Like, yeah. What are you now? You're 53?
I will be double nickel in September.
Oh, yeah, I'm 52, and I still I see the humping robot from like Robot Chicken, and I just like tears.
Oh God.
Like,
my daughter and Jessica's favorite from that show, Bitch Pudding, and I'm going, oh no. As soon as I see Bitch Pudding, I'm like that's great. You think she's gonna be quiet? Crashes back through, smacks somebody, goes, Bitch Pudding out, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's that's highbrow comedy. That's yeah.
It is. I've said this before. We said it last time. There is not enough. There's not enough laughter in the world, and I hate it that everybody gets so damn easily offended nowadays from comedy. It's like, Jesus, when we grew up in the 70s and 80s, okay, we had dangerous comedy, and there was reasons for it, and it was most of the time it was tastefully done and constructed. John the Dark Wizard says there are some gems of status quo after the Psych era that I like, as I get can't go further than the Psych era. And
I mean, there's a reason they're like one of the biggest British bands of all time. That's like me with Golden Earring. I love Golden Earring, but like from 65 to like 73 is where
see, that's funny.
That's it for me. It's like,
I tried with Golden Earring, okay? And yes, fine. I like Radar Love, but I really don't want to hear it anymore. That's the only one, and Twilight Zone, that I ever hear from Golden Earring, it's like, okay, fine. We know they're a two-hit wonder in the US. They were like, I mean, didn't they put out like 50 albums over the years in the Netherlands?
Yeah.
And I'm like, give me some shit from one of those other albums to listen to, because convince me. I tried other stuff and I just don't like it from what
You know what, Paul, like the album On the Double from '69, like that's a great album.
All right. Trying to find my pen, damn it. Drop it in Messenger later, please. I'll investigate it. I don't mind.
And Winter Harvest from '67, yeah. Like in Holland, they were like the greatest like garage like psych band of all time.
Just, and that's great. I love being able to hear things from different parts of the world. 8 Mile High is an epic.
It is. Is
it a
kind of
cover of Birds?
It's like an 18-minute version of like 8 Miles High.
Holy crap. I may have to listen to that too, because I love 8 Miles High from the Birds. I'm curious to see where they took it.
But yeah, albums like Winter Harvest and like On the Double and Wall of Dolls from like 70s, 71.
Wow.
Great albums.
Yeah, I'll have to look into all of that. I love exploring. I do.
And see, like, I appreciate their whole catalog because of like what they did and stuff. But like but that's my mind frame. Like, my favorite Floyd stuff is like, the Syd Barrett era. So like,
right.
I mean, I love everything. I think, Animals is amazing. Wish You Were Here, Dark Side of the Moon. Like, I'll listen to it. Amazing stuff. But my favorite stuff is the early psychedelics because that's what I like.
Well, other than the Syd stuff, I love Metal. Metal is my favorite Pink Floyd album.
Mm.
It really is.
Oh, yeah. Echoes. Come on, man. What a track.
One of my favorites, and it closes out that album, if I remember correctly, is One of These Days. I just love the structure. I always thought it was really weird how they ended with the football chant at the end, because you're just like going, the hell's this got to do with anything? But it worked. It worked in the structure of the song, and it was like a simple structured song. I'm like, I just love how it goes. You're right, that whole album. And everybody talks about Dark Side. Okay, fine. Yes, we understand. That was their
that was their breakthrough. That was their which like I've met many people who's like, who think that like Dark Side of the Moon is Pink Floyd's first album. I'm like, no, that was like their 8th album. Like, yeah, no, it's not their first.
HEK loves Golden Earring. You should have him on to talk about how they suck. Dark Side is my favorite. Yes, I'm generic, but I love the whole discography. I'm not knocking Dark Side. It's just the point is that, Jesus, if you're going to, okay, I understand if you're a radio station, yes, you've got to play some of the ringers. That's what I call the hits. But it's like, my God, go. There's more than one album from Floyd or The Wall. Okay, those are the two. Well, it's like they did more than 2 albums. Play something else.
But like I said, like my favorite is like the whole like early psychedelic era. Like, I mean, Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Their first album. I would love
to get a copy of that, a real copy of that.
That is my second favorite album of all time.
If Sid didn't be an acid casualty. If Sid wasn't, could you imagine if Sid didn't get all brain fried or maybe he still would have invited Gilmore and it would have been a 5-piece. The dynamic would have been thrown off.
Well,
imagine that though for a little bit.
But they wouldn't have been the band that we know, like, because I mean, Dark Side of the Moon, especially The Wall, was written about like what happened to him.
Right.
So Pink Floyd would not be the big band they are now, Yeah.
And I will confess, let's go back to Tom's comment for a second. I remember when that
Momentary Lapse of Reason. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yes.
I'm like, how are they going to do this without Roger? And I'm like, they're doing it well.
Exactly, Kev. And I remember when it was like, I don't know if it was a world premiere or a US radio premiere or whatever, but they're like, here's the new single. and learning to fly.
Oh,
And I'm
what a-
like, my God! I said they did it
yeah,
without Roger. They
what a
did it.
great
And I'm
single.
like,
Like, yeah, that was amazing. Yeah.
yep.
Mhm.
And I bought that album. I think it was the first damn day it
Oh,
came out.
oh yeah, that album. Like, I mean, stuff like Learning to Fly and stuff, and even like songs like they get like slag nowadays. You know, like One Slip. Remember the song One Slip?
I'm a little fried in the head today. I bet you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I played that whole album all over the place. I
Yeah.
probably, if I heard 3 seconds, I'd probably know it. But yeah, I mean,
One slip and down the hole we fall.
okay.
Seems to
It's
take no time at all.
see, that's the
A
thing.
momentary lapse of reason.
These
Yeah.
albums were meant to be played as a whole back then. Nobody does that.
Mhm.
Okay, I shouldn't say nobody. Okay, some still do that art, but back then, even in the late '80s, when it would be like at least a world event that us Floyd fans were waiting for this, like you said, to see if this was going to work, and it did. Now, saying that, and as we also know, there was a shit ton of guest musicians on that album, other
Mhm.
than those three. And I heard Richard was on the fence on that album too. It was mostly a Gilmore Mason thing, but Richard
Yeah,
was
yeah. I don't think like Richard was even really on the album because when you bought the album, the gatefold, it showed the two of them, it showed
yeah.
Dave and Nick.
And I want to say, wasn't God, I could have sworn I remember hearing Carmine Appice was on that album, and there was a bunch of other people. There was a lot of musicians. I think Snowy White might have been on there too. Again, which that's fine. But then when Division Bell came out in '94, and I'm going the same thing. I'm going, oh well, Momentary was great. I said this is good. And the first thing I remember hearing, and maybe it was an MTV. By then, it was I think MTV had the premiere. High Hopes,
Mhm.
if I've got that right, with the ball going along, and I'm going, it's okay. I said, but it's not like moment. That's what I'm saying. It's like I loved Momentary over Division Bell. I did. Maybe I just need to replay it again. But
Well, yeah, yeah. Momentary, I thought was great. Like that's around the era where like I really got into Floyd. That was the first like new Floyd album. But Division Bell is much more a cohesive like Floyd album than Momentary was.
Piper is Tyler's favorite. Final Cut is number 2.
See, and people love to shit on Final Cut, but I think Final Cut is better in a lot of ways than The Wall because it's more concise and it's just like
I remember
great songs.
I remember them, but it didn't stay on the radio very long. The Chicago stations played Not Now, John.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that song. I was like, ooh. I said, and then I heard something else besides that. And I'm going, oh. And so maybe that's why I didn't buy it, because I bought the 45 when it came out. I was like, I love this tune. I said, that's great. But yeah, I guess it was almost a Roger Waters solo album in spirit, pretty much.
Yeah, it pretty much was like Roger. Rick Wright was out of the band. Like he wasn't on that at all.
Yeah, what the fuck was that all about? What the hell? What twisted Roger's panties in regards to Richard? What the hell?
I just don't think Richard liked the way like The Wall was going, like the direction and stuff. So like,
let me ask you something.
He was tossed out. Yeah.
I never got the CD. I think it's a couple disc box set of the Live Wall 1980. Is it worth getting?
Yeah, I think any era of Floyd, I think anything like it's worth getting. Yeah.
Okay. Get this at one point or another, and I wish I had it. I can't remember if I sold it or I gave it to somebody. I really did have a real vinyl copy. It must have been an import, my guess, because US wasn't making albums at that time. But I did have, I still wish I did, Delicate Sound of Thunder. on vinyl back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, that was a good live album.
Yeah, that was a great live album. Yeah.
Guys, I really appreciate everybody being here. I'm going to wrap this up though, because I got to go back to work tomorrow. I have to say something really quick here because I screwed up last broadcast. I think I was trying to be cute, but my mind was also screwed up because I'm so used to having a Sunday night mentality, and it was Memorial Day, which was Monday. And so that's why having it being called the Sunday night Sam Squatch, it wasn't Sunday.
Trailer Park Boys, there we go.
I love myself Trailer Park Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people I work with that love that show, and we trade off quips all the time. And of course, my favorite is to do my Bubbles impression. Hey, Julian, you and Ricky and those whores were in my cat house. It's all the cats are all infected. $200 for the medicine of the pharmacist. I don't fix enough shopping carts to have that kind of fucking money. What am I going to do now? Or the other one.
Do you see? That's what I thought when you like labeled it that. I was thinking, the goddamn Sam Squatch.
The goddamn Sam Squatch. The other thing I like. Oh fuck. No, it's not fucking Conky.
Hello, Julian. Hello, Ricky, jackass. Oh, Julian, Patrick Swayze.
Boom. You keep it up, the green bastard's gonna come out and get you. Liquor and whores. Liquor and whores.
See, and I always consider myself the Bubbles of the vinyl community because of my kitties. Love my kitties, Bubbles loves his cats.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
That's all he has,
Shannon missed Mr. Grumper's butthole. Well, maybe next time. She's
yeah. It'll happen again.
So I don't know. I remember there's a record show coming up in the next few weeks in the area. I think it's another 4-state record show. I haven't been to a record show in forever, and I just need to go, but I need to go with a little bit of money because this is like the most vinyl finds that I've been showing for the last 2 broadcasts. That was almost at the tail end, but who's showing up at almost the last minute? Oh, you.
Last minute? Me.
Because now I'm going to pull a Mr. Mayo here. Psycho, you always show up at the last 10 minutes of my broadcasts. Mm-hmm. What's with that? That'll be a rant
conspiracy.
Video. It's going to be a rant video from him. So I would love to see a Mayo do a rant video.
Let's make it happen. We should make it happen.
Yeah, people that show up in the last 5 seconds.
Well, Beans wanted me to call up Joe's chat earlier. I was like, I can't. Not right now. But I can do this. So I'm like, I'll do this.
I got to do this now. Now that John brought this up about himself. Okay.
Come on, Yogi.
Hang on.
Come on, Yogi.
Hey, boo-boo, there appears to be a nice picnic basket. Oh, what the fuck? Ranger Smith, I see him with a tranquilizer gun. Well, wait a minute. Gee, Yogi, I don't... Shut up, you bitch. I'm trying to work on what's in this picnic basket. Oh, why is there a dildo here? Yogi, is it clean? Don't worry about it. We'll save it for later. As he pulls it out of the way. Hey, Ranger Smith, you know what you could do with this if you try to shoot me? He goes, I'll make sure this is up your ass first. Gee, Yogi, that's I'm gonna pimp slap you.
I'm gonna bitch slap you, Yogi.
You should have put it in his mouth.
Boo boo.
Simpsons moment. Yeah. This showed up out of nowhere once, and and I was like, I lost it. I yelled at the screen, and for some reason they were doing like a behind the music, but it was something else, and it was like, next week on Behind the Whatever, Huckleberry Hound has a startling confession, and you see him on the porch, and all he goes is, "I'm gay," and I go, "I knew it!" I'm screaming at him, "I knew it all these years!" And then it goes to the credits.
Well, I forget what he looks like. I'm gonna figure it out.
Stage left. How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing good.
Wellsy, woo, woo.
Wellsy, woo, woo.
99 cents at my record store. The movie.
Mm.
Oh, wait a minute. Just when we think towards the end.
And then there's
more stellar.
I had to do it because you were signing off.
Yes. So now I'll have to rant. Goes up the last 2 minutes of the broadcast. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I had to make sure it was the last 2 minutes. But
how you doing?
Yeah,
your ski lodges are great.
Thank you. Yeah, this is the third friggin' stream I've been on today, and I haven't been on them in a long time.
What was your other one? Because there's Joe, and then there's this, and what was the other one?
I was a guest on a channel called Material Issues.
Oh, right, yeah, you had a promo.
Yeah,
you know what that whole like ski lodge thing? I never got the appeal of that whole thing. I don't understand the whole like thing behind ski lodge.
The what?
Well, I'm obviously kidding.
Yeah, I know. But actually, I'm not doing ski lodge anymore.
He's doing punk lodge.
What?
No, ski lodge. No, I decided that I'm just going to do a show called Spin the Beans, and it's just going to be beans, and he's hooked up to this big giant board, and I just spin it for an hour, and just watch him vomit everywhere.
You know what? I would actually watch that if I was part of it. Yeah. I would watch that.
Yeah, I'm going to make it really super. I'm going to make it really. Going to make it
very super uncomfortable for me.
Oh,
yeah.
Right, but then I'm going to make it super terrible for you because I'm going to delete it. So each time you feel better, the stream's going to be deleted already. That's weird. Paul's like in and out, just disappearing, appearing.
Oh,
no.
Random question.
Yes.
I just have this randomly. I'm probably going to get rid of it. I'm not saying you want it, but I just want to know what you think of this.
I love that. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Huge Clash fan. In fact, when that came out on CD, like that was basically a collection of B-sides. That's all it was, just non-album tracks.
Well, I thought some of these were unreleased.
No.
Am I wrong on that?
Well, actually, tell me the songs, because that's just the 10 track.
Well, side one is Capital Radio 1.
Okay, that was on single.
The Prisoner.
Single, B-side.
Pressure Drop. It's a remix,
B-side.
though, by Bill Price.
Okay, so the remix itself is different than the B-side.
Okay. Cheat.
Cheat is a UK album track.
Okay. City of the Dead.
B-side.
Time is Tight. It's a remix by Bill Price again.
Time is Tight is something that I don't know where that is. So that might be the only place that Time is Tight is available.
Okay.
But the CD added more B-sides and more stuff from that period. So the CD is like basically double the tracks. But yeah, that's a great 10-inch. It's a great collection.
I heard about that because I don't know why I have this. I think I just thought it was cool when I started buying records. This was like at a store. I'm like, that's cool. And my dad just bought it for me. I'm like, okay.
Well, have you listened to it?
You know, I used to a lot.
Okay.
And I thought it was good, but I have no interest anymore. But I remember thinking it was okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I think is funny? Like I like follow the Billboard Top 200 every week, and Combat Rock just came back in the Top 200 this week at like number 182. Yeah.
Yeah, because of that 40th anniversary reissue.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know, and I'll tell you, it's one of their weakest albums. But how every album is going to be weak if you have London Calling in your catalog. If London Calling is one of your band's album, nothing can compare to that. But I do love the Clash up until definitely up until Sandinista. Then I really like Combat Rock, and Cut the Crap is exactly what it says it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're not a huge Cut the Crap fan, Steve.
No,
Oh, that's everyone's favorite album. Dictator with the greatest production of all time. So good.
Yeah. Anyway, we better let Mr. I got to go to work tomorrow.
We didn't do side 2. We'll get that done.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I think some of these are listed wrong, but I don't know.
Okay.
So, Bank Robber / Robber Dub.
Okay, that probably is a 12-inch. I don't know if I have that, but Bank Robber was a non-album A-side between London Calling and Sandinista.
Okay. Armageddon Time.
Armageddon Time was on the 12-inch of London Calling.
Okay, and then Justice Night / Kick It Over.
That was also, I think, on the same 12-inch.
Okay. It's interesting. It's a weird thing because it's a 10-inch.
Ever found?
Yeah, I love.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, Sony used to do. John, don't get me wrong. I love the Clash before that. I love the first album, both the American and the UK version, and I also love the Give 'Em Enough Rope was an incredible record. I remember putting the headphones on that. Sandy Pearlman produced the second Clash album, and of course, Sandy Pearlman was Blue Oyster Cult. He did all that stuff. But dang, when I put the headphones on and put the needle down on Safe European Home, I think my nose started to bleed. Just this big, powerful start, but it was incredible. Just an incredible joyride that album is. Anyway, I'll get going. So then you guys can talk, because I just end up talking way too much.
No, I never get tired of hearing Steve talk.
But
when I do, I just lay my head down and go to sleep for a few hours. I wake up every once in a while and go, yes, oh yeah, I agree, yeah, definitely.
But I have to show this just because it's handy. This is this will be one of the next things I review. I did a video on the Jam. I did a video on the Jam box set and a video on the Clash. Or I'm sorry, the Jam singles box set and the Clash CD singles box set. And this is Buzzcocks. So this is CD reproductions of all their singles. I mean, during the first when they were originally together. Yeah, the original Incarnation, which is a classic. A lot of people say that they're a better singles band than an albums band. I'm going to have to slightly agree with that, but I love Buzzcocks albums. So, but okay, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you for letting me up, Paul. I actually just did it to annoy you because I knew that you were signing off. So it's like I thought, oh yeah, I better get on here. And then Tom popped in like about 30 seconds or a minute before I did. I go, he stole my thunder. So okay, gentlemen, nice to see you, Paul. Nice to see you, Beans, again, and you too, Tom.
All right.
And we'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night.
Have a great night, sir. Thank you.
See you, Steve.
It's always good to see Schneid. Always.
You always got to salute. We got to salute him.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
American legend. No, he's a good 58-year-old.
He's had good shows though. That Ski Lodge, you can learn a lot of stuff off that. And I believe
Ski Lodge.
Once again, I have never in the list.
Yes, I mean every Tuesday, like that's the highlight of the week for a lot of people. Yeah.
Truthfully, that's probably why I would never do a Tuesday night show. I don't think I've done a Tuesday night show in a very long time because I don't get to catch Ski Lodge. Unfortunately, I sort of half pull a Mayo on him, but at least I get to hear the last 30 minutes probably of Ski Lodge because yeah, I don't know. That's just that. Unfortunately, that's how life is with
it.
So.
And the whole Ski Lodge like community is so like not big. I mean, you know, we got like the number of people we have, but the same people show up every week. So when you don't show up, like last week, I fell asleep and woke up at like 10 o'clock and missed the first hour, and I had like all these like Facebook messages saying, "Are you okay? What's going on? You're not at a Ski Lodge." It's like, oh,
nah.
Like, yeah, I just fell asleep. Yeah, right there.
By the way, that's funny. I'm going to do a quick update. Tim Smith, who has Tim's Thrifty Music, and he usually does shows. I did get contacted back by him. It was just the migraines were so bad. So thank God, because I didn't hear from him in days. And so he is better. He is on the mend. Last time I checked. Okay. So hopefully it stays that way.
Does he suffer from like chronic migraines?
Yes, he does. Oh, he's got Meniere's.
Oh, okay.
That's no secret. He's admitted he's got Meniere's. So yeah. But yep, Ski Lodge is the best show on YouTube. Wallace, you're right. That is true. And look at that. See, that's right, Paulina. And I'm guilty. I need to get there a lot more sooner. It's just like I said, by the time I get home, because I'm trying to remember when Central Standard Time he does start the show, because I can't remember. Who are you texting?
It's on the phone for like 2 seconds. I'm like Joe. He'll just like pick up his phone and just be like, But I love Joe, but we have to admit he doesn't.
What time is it now where you are, Paul? 10?
It's 10. Mm-hmm. I'm Central Standard.
So
10 o'clock, 8 a.m.
Yes, so Ski Lodge for you would start at 8 every Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Kev, I know I've asked you this, and I bet you, I don't know why I think you're in Arizona. You're not in Arizona. I'm probably confusing you with Hunyadi, aren't I?
No, yeah, I'm in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're in the same state with. You know, I haven't heard from that one in a while.
Yeah, don't even mention
it.
it.
Around.
You talking about Dickie?
Yes.
You're talking about Dickie Dolan's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mickey Dolan's.
No. Dickie Dolan's.
Dickie Dolan's.
And his cereal review.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
All right. Okay, look, I'm sorry. I tried to go with that. I gotta ask. Please, a quickie little impression, please. Please.
I will pay you. I'm not paying you in this mobile fidelity album I got for free, but
are we looking for a Dickie impersonation here?
Yes, we are.
Okay, all right, here we go.
He's smiling. He can't help it. And action.
Hey, everybody, it's Richard.
That gets me every time.
Everybody is Richard.
But I'm being serious. I'm serious. I have not seen hide nor hair from him in a couple months. I tried to messenger him, and the last message, I think it was like late January, and it said it wasn't even read. So I'm going, oh
no.
I talked to him about like 3 weeks ago. So it was the last time I talked to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then he's still alive. That's good.
Well, I haven't spoken to him ever. So I mean,
yeah, but Paul, guys, Ski Lodge, 8 p.m. your time every Tuesday.
9 p.m. our time. Good. Because we're on the East Coast, bro.
And I'm the weirdo Mid-South. I remember Jess used to go off and go, Arkansas is not the South, Paul. I'm going, I never said it was. I said it's technically
partially the South. It's got some normal people and some crazy Southerners that want to kill people.
I mean, just a little more south and the banjo's stronger.
I love
You know what, Tom? I say live and let live. You know, hey, if you want to be 8 o'clock, if you want to be 9 o'clock, if you want to be 10 o'clock,
live and let live. That doesn't
fine with me, man. Yeah.
The
Be
Rebels
whatever
should've done
time
it.
you want to be. Yeah.
I did wake up
The
at like
prefab.
9 o'clock today. So.
Must be nice. I don't get such luxury.
It must be nice out there.
I like that. That was good. Steven says Richard's been beat up pretty bad in the VC, so I think he's shying away. Maybe he just needs a break. And I'm not. That's all I'm going to say about it. It is what it is. Maybe he'll come back on. I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but truthfully, as we previously have mentioned, there was multiple reasons why I didn't do a show for close to 2 months. But I'm glad I'm doing them on a semi-regular basis again. I missed you guys completely. I did. The South will rise again. You know what? You never know anymore. The whole thing, what was it in the Rocky and Bullwinkle? I remember there was some old Southern general, and Bullwinkle would go, "I know you lost in the Civil War," and the guy would go, "That's war between the states, boy." Hey, Rookie, watch me pull a rabbit out of my ass. Again. Presto.
Next time I'm behind the laugh. I'm gay.
Yeah, could you imagine if that's how it was? Watch me pull a rabbit out of my ass. That would have been a whole different show. Yeah.
Did somebody go off and do a droopy dog impression? Is that what I thought I heard? I'm so happy. Happy. Spike is a motherfucker. Oh, I'm going to
Hey, boo-boo. I'm played by Jim. You wouldn't even get the joke. You wouldn't even get the joke. You wouldn't. You actually... I'm boo-boo. I'm played by Justin.
What?
I'm boo-boo. I can't even... Did you watch that Yogi Bear movie from like 10 years ago?
God, what a turd. Dan Aykroyd must have needed the fucking money.
You know who played Boo Boo, right? You know who played Boo Boo?
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Look, I only
like a good impression. I'll give you that.
I like Justin Timberlake in one thing that I've seen him in. And I know a lot of you people out there are going to go, oh, God, no. The Love Guru. It was a stupid movie. The only part that I liked is when he picked up Vern Troyer and goes, I'd like to thank the Academy. And I'm like, I said, that's great.
Or from SNL, like digital shorts, Dick in a Box. Dick in a Box is
oh my God.
Amazing. Yeah.
It ain't gay if it's a three-way. Mother lover. Oh God.
Huckleberry Hound.
Mother lovers, Dick in a Box. Yeah.
Mother.
Wait a minute. I like that. Hang on.
The Barry Gibbs talk show. Blame it out.
Barry Gibbs talk show.
I forgot about that. Let me see if I can do this other impression real quick. Like, I want to be your Huckleberry. There, that's that.
Okay, I feel like you could do a great Homer Simpson. But I feel like you can do a great Homer Simpson, Paul.
No, I can do. Okay, so I know I should get going here, but so I'll give you the Simpson ones I can do. Hang on a second.
Yes, exactly, Paulina. Dick in a Box is perfect.
I'm just a big toasty cinnamon bun. I never want to
Dick in a Box, baby.
Nope, I got a piss.
Smithers, Who's that idiot in Sector 5A? That's Homer Simpson, sir. Simpson! Release the hounds.
Release the hound.
Release the head.
Or, hang on.
I'm a poo.
Hi, kids, it's Krusty. Whoa, we got an itchy and scratchy next. My pork products. Ugh.
What the hell was that?
Oh my
He just like.
my battery's
Yeah.
going out.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I'll
that's
finish
that's
this
his,
week.
that's his internet going wonky again.
No. My laptop
Yeah.
battery's about ready to die
Battery?
this time. But I was going to wrap up the show anyway. I want to thank
I think
everybody being on here. I want to thank Kevin. I want to thank Tom here. I want to thank
All right.
Shanny Annie. I want to thank Stephen Schnee. I want to thank everybody. I love you guys. I really, really do. We're going to shoot for, I may not be doing a Saturday night broadcast now. I got invited to a party. So probably early next week, maybe Monday. Monday we'll do another one. Everybody take care. And
All right.
and thank you all.
Love you, Paul. Like you're a
I
great
love you
friend.
guys too.
Love you.
You are my brother from another mother, my friend. Take care, guys. Peace and love.